It seems like McDonald's is always busy, and I want to give you an amazing fact. McDonald's serves almost 68 million people every day. How do they do it? Some of them eat at this place behind me, but no single location could serve that number of people. McDonald's is open in almost 37,000 locations around the world. Each one is locally operated, locally managed. Many of them are locally owned. Jesus told us to take the gospel everywhere in the world and to reach every person with the gospel. Can we learn something for missions from McDonald's? Just like McDonald's wants to serve Big Macs and French fries to everybody in the world, we want to reach everybody in the world with the gospel. We need to establish gospel centers everywhere. Missionaries will never be able to reach every person in every community around the world, but missionaries can establish local gospel centers that will continue to evangelize and reach everyone in their community. Those are local churches. And so that means that training is very important. The job of the missionary is not just to share the gospel to individuals, but to establish the gospel in a place so that it will continue even after the missionary is gone. Now, of course, we don't have to just learn this from McDonald's. We have the record of the apostles who traveled. In the book of Acts, it tells us that at each place where they evangelized, they formed groups and they appointed leaders. They established churches. Not buildings. The church didn't build buildings for at least 100 years, but those were real churches with spiritual leaders. And those churches would continue to evangelize their communities until every person would be reached. Now, to start the church in a place, what do you need? Just like if you were starting a business in a new place, you don't need buildings first, you don't need equipment first, you need people first that know how to do it. And if we're going to start churches in new places, we need people there who know how to do it. Ministry training, local ministry training is absolutely important. You cannot keep growing a ministry and extending it without developing people. The courses from Shepherd's Global Classroom help the missionary with the task of training people to extend and establish the church. We want to help missionaries accomplish their vision of establishing local gospel centers that reach their communities with the gospel.